I
for
am,
that.
absolutely. Running for mayor, looking for my second term.
Yes, because you've completed 3 years.
3 years, that's right.
Three well done years, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
and I just want to say, because we were interviewing Jim Rutledge, and at the very end, he mentioned John Ruttan, and he just wanted to say, like, wow, you've done a great job, and we were just saying you're such a nice, friendly guy. So that was so nice for him to say that, because he's
It's
running
very
for
nice.
mayor as
He
well.
is as well, and
And
that's a very nice compliment.
it was very nice. So we sit and gushed about you. You're
Well.
easy to gush about, so.
Well, so what are you going to talk about?
So we're going to talk about your vision. Like,
My
what are some of the things that you didn't do in your last term that you want to see in the next term?
Well, this is a good question. It's part of the Vision 2020, and one of the things that I really would like to see us accomplish is a number of goals that would set out and identify an opportunity for the public to get more involved with the decision process. And I think that's been lacking up until now. And I think, really, when you look ahead, Nanaimo's got a fantastic future. A lot of really exciting things happening, and we need to position ourselves now.
Right. So those are your
Right.
So
Well, if we're going into it, I really think I'm very anxious to see the hotel reestablished. The conference center hotel is very important. We have a conference center that can seat 1,300. We have a capacity to feed 950 at a time, and yet we're limited to about 400 quality hotel rooms. And that, of course, has the impact of reducing the size of the conferences we can attract. And hence, there's a larger subsidy that has to be paid out to support the conference.
So we want to see that hotel in the next term.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And I'm really convinced that there's a very good chance the economy's changing. We're getting into this now, and I really think the two things I really expect to see in the next 3 years: the conference center and the new foot passenger service to Vancouver.
And that's another thing that you want to see in the next 3 years,
Absolutely.
is to have that fast ferry again. Now, you know what? You mentioned the conference center, so let's talk about that, because
Sure.
we know taxpayers are not too happy with that, because it is largely subsidized by the taxpayers. So
Well, largely is kind of an academic word. The point is that it's a very expensive undertaking. We've invested, the taxpayers invested something approaching $72 million in the project, and we're looking at a subsidy of getting close to $1 million. And the only way that we can reduce that subsidy is to increase the number of people that come. And that is limited by the number of hotel rooms we have, and hence the need
Yes.
for the conference center hotel.
and that would go really well with the fast ferry too.
Absolutely.
To get people over here
It'd
as
be
well.
very close. Absolutely. Really, touching on the fast ferry, when you look at a vessel that can carry upwards of 400 people and cross from downtown to downtown in an hour and 10 minutes, what it does is it provides the opportunity for people to come to conferences in Nanaimo, and if for any reason the conference was so large that the hotel accommodation wasn't available,
Right.
they can actually take a ferry and commute on a daily basis.
Yes.
Now, I'd rather not see that. I'd rather see a hotel. But really, in my
Keep 'em here. Keep 'em in the city.
in my dream of dreams, I want both.
So let's talk about the hot topic, supportive housing.
Sure, absolutely. Well, supportive housing, just if people don't really know the background on it, it was
Right.
started 5 or 6 years ago. The mayor at the time, Gary Corpin, was on a task force on homelessness that appointed by Premier Campbell, the Premier of BC at the
Yes.
time. And they unfolded a master plan to try to make the homeless issue, at least reduce the impact on the community. To that extent, they came up with an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, and the province committed $50 million to the city, which is $50 million is a huge amount of money.
Yes.
And they wanted 160 beds provided for that, and approximately 5 locations. And so that's basically what we're doing. This council adopted or accepted it from the previous administration, and we're carrying on trying to achieve that same goal. And the reality is that until and unless you're able to provide supportive housing, you're never going to be able to have any success with a problem.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's housing first. You've got to get the people into a house where they're warm, dry, secure,
Right.
before you can have any hope of success in changing their
agree.
lifestyle.
I think everyone deserves a
Sure they
dignified,
do.
safe place to live. And just because, there's drugs or whatever, all of your punishment is to stay on the streets? I don't think so, eh?
Well, there's a bigger issue too.
It is, yes.
And the bigger issue is really, it's almost to do with the charter rights. If a person has a certain orientation or religion, all those things are covered by the Bill of Rights.
Rights.
People are allowed. There's no permission or allowance for discrimination, and yet the homeless and the poor seemingly can be discriminated against if they choose to move to an area, or if there's an opportunity to move to an area. should they be disallowed? Should they be refused entry simply because they're poor? Simply because they may have an addiction?
Right.
And I think in this day of age, it behooves us to do everything we
Yes.
can to correct this problem. And you've got to start somewhere, and
Right.
that's what we're trying to do.
So you're okay with the location, with in Uplands by the seniors' home, or
Well, I don't know if I'm okay with that location. Um, and I don't know where there's any. The problem is we're so far down the road now that to change the plan at this point is to end it.
right?
I'm
Okay.
absolutely convinced that, and I think the majority of council is as well, that shares the same view I do, that if we don't continue on with the program now, if we stop at this junction, that's the end of it. And I think there's something like $35 million left in the program. Um, the problem won't solve itself.
No.
And the only way you're going to solve it is with a huge amount of money. The taxpayers in Iowa aren't prepared to put up that kind of money, and without the province's assistance,
Right.
and without their cooperation, and without their support,
Right.
we wouldn't be where we are today. And now we're within sight of finishing the problem and getting on with it. And I'm excited. I want to see it finished, and I think we can do it.
Good. Yay. So another thing we can do in our 3 years, right? Your term.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, now it was brought to my attention that the paper's saying another hot topic is employment.
Yes.
What do you think about the employment, John?
Well, we've gone through a cycle. One of the things that we have to face reality is that employment comes and goes. And I know in April, Stats Canada provided stats to us, statistics that said that we had unemployment of around 16.4%, which is extremely high. But at the time I felt, and I still do today, that it's a cyclic event. Today it's less than 10%, it's down to single digit. But we need to do all we can to improve the opportunities. And I think what we're doing is just that. The city enjoys a great relationship with the Vancouver Island University, VIU, and they have a great strategy for job creation through aquaculture and a number of other programs that they're developing. We're trying to attract high-tech industries to Nanaimo, and I think that's not unreasonable to expect. I think we've made some inroads on that as well. We're trying to find very unique things like animation studios and that type of thing. And I think it's going to happen. But where I'm really putting a lot of my hope and expectation is our new Nanaimo Economic Development Corporation.
Yes,
And the
yes.
corporation just hired Susan Cudahy, our new executive CD director, the EDO, and I think we're going to find in her and her team some great promises, some great ideas. Remember that this group is made up of board of directors of 17 people, and these are all the business leaders of our community. We've got the chairman of the Airport Commission, the chairman of the Port Authority, the president and CEO of Vancouver Island University, VIU. We've got a representative from the Chamber of Commerce. We have a representative from Tourism Nanaimo. So we've got all of the really big movers and shakers in our community, the people with connections and ideas, and they're going to make this work. I'm absolutely convinced.
So let's just end the interview on Occupy Nanaimo. That's been happening since October 14th. It's been around. We started Occupy Wall Street. What do you think about that movement?
Well, it is a challenge indeed, and part of the challenge is that there's a right to free speech.
Yes.
People do have a right to express their views, and part of the things that we're trying to do is show, I guess, some respect to their views and the positions they're trying to hold. And yet at the same time, the balance is we need to remember that that particular location is the plaza right in downtown Nanaimo, and it's available to everyone. So we are hoping to get an understanding very shortly, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to solve this problem in the very near future.
I'm just getting the wrap-up sign here. Always nice speaking with you, John Ruttan. This is John Ruttan, Terra Keeping here. Always a pleasure and an honor speaking with you.
Appreciate it. All the best. Thank you very much.